If you learn to sell, you will never be broke again. For the last decade, I've spent my career in sales, earning hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I believe your first job should be in sales. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. In this video, I want to provide 5 reasons why I think everybody should have at least one job in sales over their career. Let's get into it. Sales can teach you so many life and professional skills. Listen, it doesn't matter if you want to be an entrepreneur, a doctor, a nurse, a software developer. Learning how to sell and becoming successful at it can have a massive impact in any one of those careers. Now, over my career, I've worked in 4 different industries. I've worked in the food delivery industry. That was my first ever job. I had to go around to restaurants and sign them up for a food delivery service. You can think of Uber Eats or DoorDash. From there, I transitioned into the material handling industry. You can think of forklifts, anything for a warehouse and moving equipment. Forklifts, order pickers, things like that. And I learned so much in that industry. After that, I went to esports and I was selling esports software for tournaments. And now recently, I'm in the electric vehicle charging market, where I sell electric vehicle chargers to property owners, developers, multifamily buildings. And in every single one of those industries, I've always learned something new. I've learned something new professionally, and I've learned something new personally. I've learned things about myself that I didn't know were possible. I learned how to do new deals and meet new people and talk to different types of people. Sales can teach you so many things. The one common thing that working in all of these industries, and which is the first reason why I believe you should get a sales job, is to learn how to properly communicate. Communication skills are critical. They're so important to learn professionally and frankly personally. Being a great communicator in sales means listening. See, a lot of people realize that you're just talking and talking and talking, but the best salespeople are the ones that can just sit and listen to what the customer is saying. It's called active listening. And you want to listen for cues and issues that you can serve. See, being a great communicator, and to be a great communicator, it takes practice. It takes a lot of calls and emails and texts and Zoom meetings. And the only way to become a great one is you got to put in the reps. I remember my first job, in food delivery, where I had to cold walk into restaurants and ask for the manager. And I just remember being so scared the first day. So scared. I had to walk past people that were sitting, and then I had to walk to what is called the gatekeeper. And a gatekeeper is kind of somebody that protects the manager or the decision maker from somebody that's trying to do business. That's what is called a gatekeeper. And I had to convince that gatekeeper to give me access to the manager so I could book a meeting with the manager later that week. And I remember being so scared. But the only way to truly overcome that fear and become a great communicator is just do it. It's action. This skill has helped make me successful in all the other industries that I'm in. I know it's going to help make me successful in the business that I'm going to launch, or maybe this YouTube career that I really want to do. The second reason to get a job in sales is to learn how to properly negotiate. I can't tell you how much of a lesson this has been for me. Learning to negotiate takes time. It takes some experience, and it's a critical piece of becoming successful at sales. But learning to negotiate can have a massive impact in so many areas of your life. If you want to be an entrepreneur and you want to hire some top-level talent to work in your company, you're going to have to learn how to negotiate. If you want to be a successful lawyer that wins a lot of cases, you're going to have to learn how to negotiate. It's a critical piece in becoming successful at sales. One of the big reasons why you want to learn how to negotiate is to learn how to close a deal. And to close a sales deal, you're going to need to overcome objections. Objections are reasons why a customer might not make a decision. Maybe I'm just not ready yet, or I don't have money, or this just isn't the right product for me, or this other company's product is a lot better. Learning to overcome those objections, to negotiate and eventually close a deal is huge. I think one of the most important things about negotiation is it can actually teach you how to ask for a raise. See, so many people go into a raise saying, okay, well, I would like a 5% raise, or I'd like a 7% raise, or a 10% raise, depending on the industry that you're in. And most of the time, you probably don't get what you've asked for. See, the proper way to ask for a raise is you go into that meeting with your boss. You say, hello, Mr. Boss, or hello, Mrs. Boss. This is what I've done. I've had this amount of results this year. I've learned this and have accomplished this. I would like to ask for this raise. Based off industry standards, based off the results I've done, I believe that I deserve this. When the facts are there, when you've properly negotiated your value to the company, it's very hard for your boss to say no. Maybe you won't get exactly what you asked for, but you're probably going to end up pretty close. And I think just learning that skill right there is why your first job should be in sales, or you should at least have one job in sales over your career. Okay, so reason 3 is goal setting. Sales teaches you how to properly set goals. When you get your first sales job, you're going to have a meeting with your sales manager, and the sales manager is going to go over targets that you have to hit. There'll probably be company targets and there'll probably be personal targets. Your job is going to be able to learn how to set goals to hit those targets. And the very best salespeople are super goal oriented. See, the best goal setters, and this has taken me a long time to learn, and frankly, I'm still learning. The best goal setters are the ones that can take a massive goal and break it down into tasks. Guys, this has taken me forever to learn. And I'm still learning it. I used to be the person that said, okay, I want to close $10,000 in 5 days. That's unrealistic. I want to lose 30 pounds in 1 month. It's pretty unrealistic. What the best salespeople can do is they can actually break down their tasks in manageable, bite-sized, actionable things. Learning to goal set, I think we already know how this can affect your life. If you want to have personal, financial success, you're going to have to learn how to set goals. Maybe you want to level up your fitness like I am right now. I'm trying to lose 60 pounds before my 30th birthday. That's in March. I have goals that I need to hit every month, every week, and really anything else in life. Learning to properly set goals and then achieving those goals is one of the most powerful things. So before we get into the final 2 reasons why you need to get your first job in sales, I want you to know at the end of this video, I'm going to provide 3 easy tips to find the perfect sales job. The 4th reason is time management. There's a saying that time is money. And frankly, if you're not spending your time on selling, you're not going to be making much money. Sales forces you to learn time management. And it's one of the skills you really need to learn to live a successful life. A lot of people believe that time management is just having a balance of things to do throughout the day. But what sales teaches you is to prioritize, to figure out what are the most important things to do and focus on doing those things, and then just leaving a little bit of time left over to do the remaining things. I remember my job in the material handling industry. So we sold forklifts and racks and like things that helped move product in a distribution center. To acquire new customers, I would spend all my time emailing or calling. I would spend very little time going and doing in-person visits. But see, what I quickly realized in that industry, in-person visits, it's what builds relationships and eventually partnerships. I learned that I need to spend the majority of the time out in the road, the majority of the time walking into buildings and meeting the warehouse manager, not spending time emailing and calling. Even those things are important, but it has to be about 20% of my time. 80% of my time had to be spent on the road. And once I made that switch, I started selling 5 times the amount that I was. So the 5th reason you guys need to get a job in sales, and honestly, this is probably the most important, is to learn how to be resilient. Sales is tough. In a typical sales career, you close about 20% of the deals. And if you're working for a best-in-class company, it's probably closer to 30%. But that means that the remaining 70% of deals or the remaining 80% of deals, you don't close. That means for every 2 people you close, 8 people will say no. Learning to deal with that rejection has been a big thing for me. I remember losing my biggest deal. A deal that I've been working on for years. It was with a major developer and I really wanted to close it. It was going to have a big impact on my personal success and was going to allow me to, buy some nice things for my family and save a bunch of money, and I lost the deal. And it was crushing, absolutely crushing. But the thing with sales is you just get up and you get going again. When you get knocked down, there's that old cliche saying, it's not how fast you get knocked down, it's how fast you get back up, or whatever that saying is. The truth is, though, it's correct. I could have stayed down. I could have said, you know what? I'm done. I lost that big deal. I'm taking a break. This isn't for me. But instead, I got back up and I just started working again. Sending the emails, doing those in-person visits, and I ended up finding my biggest deal ever 2 months later. Much bigger than the one that I lost. And that is what sales teaches you. It's a major, major lesson that you need to learn in life. And it's a lesson that most successful, if not all successful people have, is they don't quit. They're resilient. They're persistent. They keep moving. They keep pushing. And being able to put one foot in front of the other can make you so successful in whatever you do in life. Like I said, doesn't matter if you want to be an entrepreneur, a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, or even a software developer. So now that I've hopefully convinced you to look at a sales job for your first ever job, or just get a sales job if you've never had one, I want to provide 3 easy tips to find the perfect job. Tip number 1, find a job in an industry that you are passionate about. The truth is if you are passionate about something, if you really believe in something, it is going to be much easier to sell it. Maybe you're passionate about dogs. So that means you'll look for a software company where they sell some really cool tools for owners that want to take care of their dogs or learn more about their dogs. After this video, spend some time writing down things that you're passionate about. I think you will be surprised that you're probably passionate about a lot more things than you think you are. Tip number 2, and this is so important. Find a job in a growing industry. I don't care if you're the best salesperson in the world. If the product you're selling is not in a growing industry or the product is not in demand, you are not going to have any long-term success. So if one of your passions was cars, for example, maybe you want to get into the electric car market. But if one of your passions is media, you're probably not going to want to get a job. But if one of your passions is media, you're probably not going to want to get a job with like a local newspaper or a local radio station selling ads. There's not going to be much demand for those products. And the third and final tip to find the perfect sales job is find a job that makes you uncomfortable. Now, I don't mean find a job that makes you nervous with what you're selling. Please don't sell anything illegal or do anything morally wrong. But you want to find a job where the company is a little bit out of your comfort zone or the product's a little bit out of your comfort zone. Maybe it's the way you need to dress or maybe it's the way you need to act. So many people look for comfort in their jobs, but we all know that growth and success is when you step outside your comfort zone. I want to end this video with a quote I found online by this gentleman named Jason Reynolds. Be not afraid of discomfort. If you can't put yourself in a situation where you are uncomfortable, then you will never learn, you will never grow, and you will never change. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to watch more, click this one right here where I tell you how running has changed my life. And as always, please like and subscribe. It's how we can grow this channel, and we'll see you next week. Peace. Why did I say peace? Why do I say peace? Thank you guys. See you in the next one.